Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Night of the Dead. Did I scare you then? So, yeah, with no clear indication as whether or not I'm going to be able to stream or not at the moment, I thought, hey, rather than just waiting indefinitely to get on with the next episode, let's just get on with the next episode. And we've got a base to build, we've got things to do. I want to test this thing out. I want to get it live. So let's just crack on and get this new base design built. I'm looking forward to getting this built. It'll be cool. So that's the plan. The other thing I want to quickly cover before while I'm just going about upgrading the base here, is I'm still seeing a few people commenting on whose fault it was, or who's to blame. The part of the base burnt down on episode 108. And everybody, let's just say this one time now so that I'll end the debate. No more discussions needed. The only person to blame, if you're looking for somebody to blame, is me. Yeah, it's nobody's fault. I decide, nobody else, I decide that when somebody plays Hot Sausage Fun Soundbite, I'm the one that decides that that means that I use my flamethrower and flame the surrounding area. Nobody else is making me do that. That's my decision. And what happened on Wave 108, which was very funny, it's not a problem, was that I underestimated, I think is probably the best word, or overestimated my ability, whichever way you want to look at it, of how easily I was going to be able to put out the flames. Because up until now, whenever something burns, you just run over, you press T to repair, and it's done. The flame goes out, move on, no big issue. I lose a tree branch. Whatever. Yeah, I flamed far too big an area. Let's say it that way. I didn't think it was going to go up the way it went up, because it kind of went a bit wild. The fire took hold, and before I knew it, I was down to trying to create fire breaks rather than actually putting out the fire. It was a case of, I need to minimize the damage here, because if I let this carry on, we could lose a lot. That's my call, my decision, my fault, my bad. I won't be doing it again. So, yeah, some people are saying, Deer Slayer's fault, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's just put that into perspective. Now, we have a great fun community here, and we do laugh at each other a lot and have lots of in-jokes and, have a good bit of fun. And although we might be saying, Deer Slayer, you bad person, you burnt down the base, it's in jest. It's not. Deer Slayer. Oi! Deer Slayer knows that it's not. It's not meant in any kind of malice. So let's just put an end to this right now. The whole community and everything. Let's just put a stop to it. The only person's fault it was that the base burnt down, almost, is mine. Okay? So that's the end of that conversation. No more. Right then, so, I am still really, really, and where is some of these zombies going? I'm still really, really struggling for tree branches here. And we still have also our magical floating base. Logging out and then loading back in did not resolve our wonderful floating base. It's a fantastic base. I'm not quite sure how long I'll leave it there for. I have no... Oh, zombie coming after me. I have no current plans to... It's taken a while for some of these things to update when they demolish. I have no plans right now to need the resources that urgently. But on the other hand, this new base has a lot of resource requirements. I mean, it's massive. The plan for this new base is really good. I do like the idea. I think it has a lot of merit. I think it could go a long way. I definitely think it's a base that can handle wave 100s to 150s at least. And hopefully beyond. So I want to try this concept out. The idea for this base is a good one. It's a solid one. I think it could go far. And let's be honest, if we have a look at the great sausage factory that's over there, you know, our ultimate base, our base that's got us this far, it's starting to creak at the edges. And I'm not just saying that, I mean, it really is. I was up there just now giving it a repair after last wave, and what I found is where they're getting to the end of the circuit now is where they never used to really get that far. Now they're getting near the end. What is happening is they are reaching like a step or a stairway that I needed to allow them to finish their navigation around the base. I need to extend this. And you're probably saying, okay, well, you know, get to the point, Tormunda. Why is reaching a stair an issue? Well, reaching a stair is a very big issue because when you're on a stage, you can't put traps. Which means they're at a location where they're not taking damage. And the moment a zombie gets to a location where they're not taking damage, they get a chance to rethink their lot in life and decide whether or not what they're doing is what they want to do. And what that means is they're starting to attack the stair itself. This might all collapse now, actually, up there. Ooh. Will this collapse? Probably. Do I really need that wood? Oh, I would like it. I would like it. Let's just go on with this. Yeah, so they're attack the stairs. This is not good. For obvious reasons. It was almost destroyed. That's how close we came to losing the base. If that stair had been destroyed, they wouldn't be on the path around the base, and they would have started just attacking everywhere because they couldn't get to the base. I think I had something like 10% hit points left. So we were literally a zombie or two, a boss or two away from losing the sausage factory. So we need a new base. We need a new base for the future. We need a base that is going to be able to handle quantity. And although I love the sausage factory to bits, it's just not good enough to do that job. Not anymore. Some trim blocks. Trim blocks. Trim blocks. Just get a bunch. So we need a new base. It's long overdue. We built that other base, that floating base. With obviously those who haven't been watching the whole series, it wasn't planned to be floating. It only started floating when we tried to take it down. So yeah, let's come on. We need a new base, a base that can handle the future. So we tried on that one. It wasn't good enough. it also comes to another thing whereby, I mean, people, again, I've seen debates about the fact that I said that, you know, a drop trap base at the late game is not a good idea. Which led to some people debating and arguing, going, "Oh, I've got a drop trap base; it works great." And yeah, okay. And I clarified this on another episode, but I'll do it again now, just so that people understand where I'm coming from. Is that the drop trap base whereby you're trying to keep the audience, the viewers, able to see the action by having the zombies drop in front of you and going back through the beginning of the base and back through the initial traps that you set down. So that allows you to stand here, keep replaying the traps, and having them go back through them over and over again to gain maximum usage over those traps. And the flaw with that was the fact that the way that the padding of the zombies works now is when there's so many zombies that end up at the front of the base. You've got the main 2 a.m. swarm coming in, you've got them all dropping back down and starting to go back to the front again. There were so many that not only did they attack the walls and stuff like they do with the new pathing, they pulled me, they glitched me through the wall into the traps with them. Now, luckily, the moment they pulled me through was a time when the trap that they pulled me next to had actually just run out of its charges. And yeah, it was actually on 0. The trap didn't kill me, and the zombies were still trying to get to the bait and not me. So, yet again, by the skin of my teeth, a little miracle happens, and I survived when I should have been chopped up or eaten. But I can't rely on these crazy moments of luck to keep me going. So that base was no good because you were just compounding the issues at the front of the base, making them impossible to cope with. But that wasn't to say that the idea of a drop trap base at this point isn't a good idea, because it is a good idea. It's just I needed to rethink how exactly am I coping with volume, because that's the issue right now. It's so many zombies. Yeah, it's just the wall of zombies that turn up. How can I cope with that? Because it's only going to get worse. Either my computer's going to fall over because it can't render the zombies anymore, which means I'll probably drop the graphics just so we can keep going, or my base is just going to collapse. So I thought, okay, well, one of the good ideas I had on that previous base, which is called the Walk-In Dead, by the way, and this is the Walking Dead Mark II. And the reason why this is the Walking Dead Mark II is one of the good ideas I had on there originally was when they were going around the top part, they were like cutters and things, and there was no walls. So they would get constantly knocked off the edge, and then they would come back around and start again, which was acting just like a drop trap. It was the same as if I had a drop trap, but this drop trap basically didn't run out of charges after just 10 drops, because it was a case of the zombies were getting knocked off the edge. So that's what this base is all about. It's kind of like, well, if I make a base that's, or a pathway for them that's only 1 wide, and I fill it full of traps, there's a set amount of zombies that are going to be on the path along here before there's too many zombies. And not only do they fall off because the traps knock them off, they fall off just because there's too many zombies trying to path. Which is a brilliant idea if you think about it, because that means that as the game actually increases the size of the horde, it self-compensates, because the more there are, the more they drop off. So it creates a drop trap effect whereby they're always going to be dropping off and falling off and coming back to the beginning. Now, I need to make sure this beginning is actually going to be able to cope with the horde. I don't think at the moment it's going to. You know, if they attack those poles, it's going to collapse. These stairs are so vulnerable. It's a concern. I don't know how well it's going to do. That's why there's no traps at the moment at the top. I don't know if that's a big mistake or not. And why am I saying that is because when they get up here, if they're not taking damage, they will reassess what they're doing sometimes. And they might decide to try and leap at that bait over there. Which means they have to put a higher wall. And they still might be able to leap at that bait. Having an area where they're not taking damage is always an issue, especially if they've taken damage at some point. And I intend to flamethrower through that grating down on them below, in which case they're going to take damage, then they're going to get to here, the fire's going to stop burning, they're not going to be taking damage, and they're going to go, you know what, let's not follow the path, let's do something crazy, let's attack the floor, let's attack the stairs, let's attack the pillars, let's do something else. And that's an issue. So I might put traps up here, but on the other hand, if I put traps up here, it might just create too much of a bottleneck. I really don't know yet until we see a wave and see how it handles. And same as these ballista, I've got them lined up here at the moment, but I mean, thinking about it, they need to be fully enclosed in some way, because they're going to turn and try and shoot through the various, you know, walls here, which is not going to be good because I'll probably be standing by here when they decide to shoot this way, and a ballista does 125 points of damage, and that's just an insta kill. So I can't afford them to shoot me. And that would be the same for a flamethrower. If there's a flamethrower here, I mean, I need to box them in some way so that they only shoot at something that's on there. But I'll get to that in time. So the base design is kind of okay at the moment. There's no need right now for a fencing along here. I can do it later just to make it look nice. But look nice comes after pathing has been tried and tested. Because they'll end their path coming this way, and that'll be the end. I don't care. Once they've got to here, they're going to go straight for the bait. They hopefully never get here. That's the plan. I might actually change that piece there for an actual drop trap. So if they do make it all the way around, they then just fall on the floor. I mean, that's really not a bad idea. Let's try and do that right now, in fact. Well, before I demolish, do I have the bits on me to make a drop trap? I do. Let's take this out. Now, there is a negative about putting a drop trap in here, and it's something now I'll have to compensate for. And that is, should at any point this drop trap run out of its 10 charges, it will stay open. It will then break the pathing, and the zombies will never come here. Now, that means 10 zombies have reached the end. If 10 zombies have got that far, I'm in a world of trouble anyway. But let's just think about what you do to fix that. And all you do is you just put a second path along the edge. I'll do it at some point soon, so that when that's open, they just run a little bit further. Now, that little bit further, I don't think there's more than 50 foundations. Yet again, I just want to check my foundation count on this base. It's actually 500 nodes. So saying 50 foundations is not the case. What the pathing algorithm, well, unless they've changed it, which they might well have, used to be, was 500 nodes, and each foundation block is a 10 by 10. So that's why it's often referred to as a 50 foundation limit. but it's not. It's the nodes. And the reason I'm making that point is when something comes up here, when they get to this corner, yes, they do enter this foundation block. But on a node count, they're only probably going to, enter 1 or 2 nodes into it before they're onto that one. So you're not using 10 nodes to cross this foundation because you're cutting the corner. But we'll count it in foundations because it's easy right now. I'll count stairs as 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. It's only 47. That's being really generous. So even if I put 3 on the end there, it's going to be fine. Yeah, it'll go a bit further out and back, but that's been extremely generous with this pathing, so it should be fine. Anyway, I need to get on with this, and I also need to harvest a load of tree branches. So I'll see you all again in a moment. So here we are. I've gathered some more resources. What is my current status on tree branches? 380. It's enough to get us through the episode. I've done a bit more work on the base, upgrading things really, adding a few traps. One of the things that was quite interesting, one of the things I managed to do, is I managed to place a shredder on a bridge, which I can only assume the reason it's letting me, for some reason, is because the edges here are touching a wall. Because you can't place anything on bridges. You can't build on bridges. But I managed to. Took a little bit of juggling back and forth, but I seen a flash of blue briefly. It's like, aha! I seen a flash of blue. That means if I keep at it and persevere, it will place. And I placed it. So that's pretty cool. I am very happy with the fact I got a shredder on the bridge. That is really good news. So I'm getting kind of like late in the day a bit now. I need to think about potentially going up to the sausage factory, making sure the sausage factory is ready for action for the night. And this base is definitely getting there now. I'm focusing more now on, putting things up to metal, or at least, to stone. I'm forgetting more bits on me. Yeah, I got enough for a couple more. There's a lot to upgrade in this base though, because it's a raised base. Oh, I've missed a base. I missed a foundation. Come on, target the foundation. Oh. Because I've run out of stone now. Because it's a raised base, it takes a lot more resources to build. Some of this stuff is damaged, see, so especially these damaged ones. Let's go get some more brick while we're talking. I need to upgrade those and just make sure that places where in the past they've attacked, maybe because I fought them there. I don't know what the reason is the damage, but I mean, if they've been damaged before, they might get damaged again. Anyway, so because this is a raised base, the whole base is raised, clearly it's going to take a lot more resources than a ground-based base. Base is because, you've got to build not just the one foundation plus your traps, is, building a whole massive walls as well as your foundation plus some traps. So yeah, very, very quickly it just becomes expensive to build a base like this. But as I said, I think it's going to be worth it in the end. Now they're trimmed. I need to head back to the base and just farm and collect. Now, I think I'm going to have to take... I'll wait for this little spawn to finish. And I'll take my bait traps away and head back. And although I don't think I need to... I love the way they just fall off the edge. Although I don't need to take the bait traps away. Because I think when I'm up there, this won't be getting attacked by any zombies. They're going to spawn. They usually spawn down the road there a little way. But in the past, I have seen them spawn a bit deeper in. And I just don't want to risk this base getting attacked tonight by zombies while I'm up there. And besides it being a complete waste of tree branches to replan all the traps, they might actually get far enough through to take the bait down, or they might just start attacking the base for whatever reason. And I come back here and find pad has collapsed because I wasn't here to, you know, make sure everything was flowing properly. It's not worth the risk. I don't want to eat too many of my precious resources there. But while we still got a few zombies running around, I'm just going to focus on upgrading some of the base. Getting some of these high pieces over there is not an easy task. Get some of these here though, I can do that. So yeah, expensive. I think though it's going to be worth it. I don't know why. I mean, potentially this could be a complete flop of an idea. But so far what I'm seeing, excuse me, even from the the daytime spawn, is they're pathing and falling off so well that it is giving me, I just want to be sure. You try and tag these, sometimes it ends up tagging the floor. It's going so well, touch wood, that I think when this base design is finished, it'll be a good one. It's going to be something that we all sit back and go, oh, you know what? That works. It solves the problem with the mass attack. But as I said, on the previous episodes, you might not have tuned in to see those. We're in a fortunate position here now. Yeah, okay, I mean, I'm still playing hardcore. I'm still playing with the rules that if I die at all, then this series ends. And we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I mean, if I do die, we can talk about what we're doing with the series after that. I certainly won't be able to call it hardcore anymore, because if we carry on and I've died, well, it's not really very hardcore, is it? Because you've died. But we're in a lucky position whereby we're at wave, 110. This episode will be. So we can do some base designs and tests against hordes that not only, if you're playing on normal mode like this is, what would probably be considered, end game hordes, but also they very well replicate, a decent, even legendary horde up to a reasonable level. I mean, I've played legendary. I know the kind of nightmare that you get hit with. So it does some. We have the opportunity whereby we can test some base designs out against some decent sized hordes. Hordes that, if the base design works, should be able to cope on a whole range of difficulties. So while we're in that luxury position of doing that, especially on normal mode, because it means that I haven't got the daytime nightmare of a legendary attack. I haven't got the nightmare of, once we've decided, that we've tested out a base design enough and we want to make a new one, and I tear down my current base design, I haven't got the nightmare of the fact of getting no resources back, basically, for destroying stuff like you would do in legendary mode. I actually get, full resources back, which allows us to build another base into another base design without, that, major headache that you would normally have. So yeah, very nice position to be in. And it makes sense to use this position now to test out different base designs for this game. So once we have got the Walk-in Dead Mark II up and working well, and it's definitely, you know, doing its thing. This is the stage that's normally going. Then we will, or I will set about trying out a new base design idea and seeing if we can get it to work and seeing how useful it is against, you know, large hordes. I'm not quite sure why I'm bothered to repair those. They haven't really taken enough damage to be worth repairing, especially this late. Yeah, so what was happening, I found, is they've come down here. They've got to this point where they're not taking damage now because it's a stair. And because they've got this breathing space before they get hit by that cutter, they attack the stair. So that stair was almost destroyed. It was just hanging on by its teeth. That's not good. That really isn't good. A lot of these are quite low on these counts, but I'll let these pass. I don't want to be replanning these back here for just like a few points. It's really not worth the effort. How's that? I mean, you can repair the bait. I'm not going to bother because if it gets that low, I'll just pick it up and put it back down again. At the moment, it's fine. This one here, likewise, is fine. It's quite an expensive thing to be spending my time. Oh, I got no manure at all now, so let's do that. So speaking of manure, let's get the last of any meat I got in the area. I mean, this is one of the things with the the plants. I did have a load of plants, as people know. I also had a garden for all my food, which I do need to rebuild at some point. Is you're shifting your resource demand around. You're not solving the fact that you. I don't want all this stuff. Just this around your bin is just a waste of my inventory space. Just go away. And that one. Just doesn't need to be in my inventory. Yeah, I'll leave everything else in there. So yeah, what I was going to say is, yeah, you're just shifting your resource along. So rather than now me trying to get tree branches to do stuff, I'm now trying to make manure to make tree branches. Which means I need meat. So you kind of just like end up going around in circles. 5 will do the rest for now. We're going to go into food. I need to get my food stocks back up. So you end up chasing your own tail, you do. It's just, what am I trying to invest in right now? Meat for manure? Or just go and get some tree branches? Because it's all the same thing. Okay, we're nearly there. So I'm just going to do some last bits of preparation now before the attack. I'll see you all in a moment. So here we are, yet again. Night of the Dead! It's time for wave 110, folks. So the plan is the same as usual. Keep the front of this base going and active at all times. Use the flamethrower to stop and stagger the zombies so that they take longer to pass through a trap. And at the 2 AM wave, reload all of these ballista with upgraded bolts, which are by far the most cost-effective way to obliterate zombies. It's so cheap to make the upgraded bolts. And devs, please don't change it. It's nice to actually have some ammunition that doesn't cost the world and make it pointless in using. The upgraded blister bolts are one of the few things that are worth crafting. Just quickly grabbing some food here. Oh, the wave's just started. Just so that maybe by the end of the wave there's some more food there. So here we go. The wave has started. It's on its way. I'll eat a bit of food. It takes a little while for the wave to actually get to my base due to its location. You've got to kind of, you know, go for a little bit of a wander. But they get you eventually. Now, one of the things I've been finding recently on this base is, in the past, it used to be that this hole at the bottom of the palisades, that large block hole there, is dangerous. If a exploding zombie blows up by here and I'm standing here, I will catch on fire. It will hit me. What I'm finding is this tiny little gap now that's at the bottom, which is not much. They're actually attacking through that and hitting me physically sometimes. They'll try and get through there to swipe at me. And yes, of course, if you stand close to a fence anyway, they'll hit you these days. That's kind of what they do. But the fact that that little hole now is becoming a target as well, it's kind of like, really? But they will. They try and squeeze in there sometimes. It's kind of like, what are you doing, zombies? I mean, maybe it's just, you know, maybe they aren't really trying to get through there or anything strange. It's just the way that it looks. But in my head, they are actually trying to climb through that little hole. Okay. So the base is in good shape. Everything that needs to be replaned is replaned. Everything that needs to be repaired is repaired. Yeah, we're in as good a position as we can be. These waves are... Oh, that one stopped, is it? Yeah. I love the way that now and again these traps just stop functioning. I've stopped worrying about it if they stop functioning, because sometimes they just decide to start functioning again all on their own. So if they stop functioning, they stop functioning. It's always just like the odd one or two traps here and there that stop. Not enough to cause this base to have major issues. But obviously, I mean, it's not good. But I live with it. Now I'm sure you're all very used to this game by now. Pretty sure this isn't the first time you've watched this game, but in case it is, this is the Midnight Wave. The Midnight Wave has no bearing on how difficult it's going to get later. It's just a wave of zombies that start attacking you at midnight. And the only thing about it I would say is, if you're lucky enough to have a light Midnight Wave with no bosses, it just means you're spending less of your resources keeping the base active, and you can save more of your resources for later. That is really all there is to say about it. That one's working again. Right, there will be another wave at 1 AM. Yet again, it has no bearing on anything. The only thing I would say about the 1 AM wave is, don't take your eye off the ball, focusing on the 1 AM wave, when what you need to be doing is keeping an eye on when it goes to 2 a.m. That's all the 1 a.m. really does, is it distracts you from the 2 a.m. wave. Now, the 2 a.m. wave is the important wave. So we're at 1 a.m. now. This next wave coming up. It takes a few minutes, like I said, to get up here, but they'll get up here. It's just a distraction. Because the only wave that matters in this game, when you've got a completed base, that is the 2 a.m. wave. That's when the game will hit you, and hit you hard. Especially on wave 110. At the moment we've been very lucky and had very few bosses. We've got a couple of exploders. As far as boss type zombies go, next to nothing. I mean, seriously, very, very lucky with the spawn at the moment. Which makes our job of keeping all of our traps up and active real easy. I don't have to run off deeper in. Something coming to me there. I don't have to run off deeper into the base to try and replenish some of the later, more important traps. The boss killers, I would say, because there's been no bosses really so far. That's fantastic. That's number 12. I will check on them. Yeah, I mean, just nothing. I mean, that's absolutely nothing. Amazingly low for 1 a.m. so far. Very, very lucky. But it means nothing. It means nothing because the 2 a.m. wave is the only one that matters. And you have no idea whether you're going to get a easy or a ridiculously hard 2 a.m. wave until it arrives. That's how they seem to go. You either get an easy one, or you get one whereby all hell is breaking loose and it's just a nightmare. There doesn't seem to be any happy middle grounds. At the moment, all good. Zombies insisting on damaging my fencing. Something that shouldn't happen on the new base I'm building, because they can't reach the fence. But we will see with that. I'm sure they will find a way. Just make sure everything here is fine. Very happy with things going here. This is more like a wave 20 than a wave 110. Where were you? As I said, you can't tell. You literally cannot tell. At this point, if we were streaming, I'd expect to be running around doing lots of Benny Hills and runaways and dances and things, which would add to the difficulty. As it stands right now, easy. Easy, easy, easy. But don't speak too soon, because in a minute it might be hard, 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 hard. Just keeping on top of things. At 2 a.m. is going to be any moment. As I said, I do get a little bit of a breathing space when it goes to 2 a.m. before they actually get to my base, which is good. The reason why my thing keeps going funny here is because there's a butcher out there that keeps throwing stuff at me. Right, I think I'm going to go and load up my ballista now because I just know it's going to be 2 a.m. any moment. I just know. Just used to it. So let's get these things loaded. There you go. It's just popped 2 a.m. Just kind of get used to it now. Right, that's the ballista. They're going to just mow down everything that's coming up. They are really good for thinning out the horde, the wave that hits us at 2 a.m. that is now currently on its way towards us. If you can afford to set up a line of ballista to thin out the assault, definitely worthwhile doing. Oh, see, they've used very little ammo up here. Absolutely fantastic. Oh, I'll give that a replay. Right, the wave will probably get you any moment, which means I need to get ready for my flamethrower. Just keep some of these things topped up. Yeah, we're good, we're good. Just get ready. Okay. Right, I'm ready for you, Horde. Let's be having you. Keep it on the side, sometimes they come on the side. Still can't see a major rush of bosses coming up. There's nothing there. Quiet, quiet, quiet. It's still extremely quiet. We could be having a lucky one where I don't have to use too many resources. Which is good, because my new base is expensive. I need my resources. Not so great for you all watching. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. I was wondering where they were. Okay, here we go. Masses of bosses. Right, set fire, everyone. Set fire to the big boss wave. Slow them down. Make it so that all of the traps I have here are hitting the zombies for as many times as they can. That's the goal. As many hits as possible. Flame back up the length. If they're on fire, they will stay still and burn. Well, when I say stay still, they just find it very difficult to move forward. So, keep them on fire. Oh, ow, I got hit. This is where, during a stream, I will be shouting out for hot sausage fun. Which means, please flame the zombies. Because, yeah, I need to keep these guys burning. And keep those traps active. Burn, 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 burn. That's a crazy amount of zombies in there. If I get too close, they will hit me. If I get too close, they can actually pull me through the wall. That's how bad it is. Ooh, that trap's almost broken. These traps are taking a lot of damage these days. A lot of damage. Burn the lock. Set them on fire. That's the most important trap. Those two at the front, those cutters. Get a cutter going. Trying to get to that. There's somebody there trying to get to me. Get that cutter there. Yeah. Oh, no, just as I was going to. Don't stand too close because I said they can pull me through. I've had it happen. Yeah, I think we're through. I think we're at the other end. I can hear the music now. The noise level of zombie doom is starting to reduce. Yeah, you can just hear them. They're just a lot quieter now. Yeah, there you go. A lot of these traps are taking a bunch of damage. I mean, crazy amounts of damage from these traps. Oh, there's a 0 there. Fantastic. So yeah, we've got things down to a fine art now with the sausage factory and the way it functions. And that one went by the numbers. Yeah, all blisters are used up. And this is the bit whereby, well, once you've got the music to finish, you can just hear the music in the background. Once the music's finished, we will go for a check. Yeah, you can often get a zombie stuck here. If I just come in close here, they should just ignore me. Go on up. There you go, go on up. Oh, there's another guy stuck. No, he's okay, he's coming for me now. Oh, some more. I wonder if these are actually a daytime spawn, as opposed to part of the wave. They might be a daytime spawn. Any crawlers? Nope, we're good. Anybody stuck inside the mountain? The thing we used to have an issue with, you know, quite a few episodes back, was people trying to get up the mountain. But that seems to have been a thing of the past now, which is good. So one of the things I do right at the end of every episode is just have a quick walkthrough and check to see how far they got. You can see where the majority of things died. It's all at the front here. There's masses of them. Okay, they've got through here, they go up here, they go up here. There's usually a pile here. This is not a very big pile. If there's if it was a tough wave and there were a lot of bosses, there's usually a massive pile here, but there wasn't. So this shouldn't be a difficult. It shouldn't go very far. I think they've got here, they've got here. Is that it? Yeah, yeah. I could tell the fact there wasn't many piled up at the front that they hadn't got very far. So I would class that as probably on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being an absolute nightmare wave. I would scale that probably about a 3. I mean, really, for this stage of the game, on a wave 110, I'd be expecting, you know, at least 6s and 7s, but that was probably about a 3. You can just tell by how far they got. That was a very light, easy wave. I think a lot of that was the fact that the midnight attack and the 1 AM attack were both very weak with regards to boss counts. And what that did is it didn't drain much of the resources in the base. So when that final boss wave, which was not very big, got here, the base was still, you know, 100% operational. This Death Star was fully operational. So they just got disintegrated. Ooh, 30% hit points left. That's my biggest issue right now. Is due to the new mechanics of how they path. It's not even the case of, you know, are they getting very far in the base? Blah blah blah. It's the case of what damage are they doing on the way through? What in the base am I losing? Obviously, with a foundation being worst possible thing to lose. But there are a few traps now that are taking a ton of damage and risk being destroyed in the middle of the wave. Now, this is only normal. Let's put things into perspective. It doesn't mean that much. I don't lose the trap. I can pick up all the pieces of the trap after the attack and put it back together. There's some of the trap, the trap doesn't disappear from existence. But what it does mean is parts of the base potentially could collapse. You could lose pathing. Things could just become an absolute nightmare at that point, where zombies are attacking everything and destroying everything because things are then messed up, or you've just lost traps, and your ability to replenish a trap and keep the overall effectiveness of your base then drops considerably during the middle of the wave if there's much wave left. So yeah, losing traps, not good. Right, okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I say I'm sorry that at the moment streaming doesn't seem to be an option. If you've checked out my other videos, you'll understand that I have some severe ISP problems at the moment. Say I'm getting a sometimes as little as a 0.02 megabit upload rate. Yeah, you hear that. Right? So streaming is just not an option until my ISP gets this fixed and sorted. It's just crazy right now. So thank you very much. I will see you all next time for another episode of Night of the Dead. Bye.